Hello everyone, this is the Joy of Reading and welcome to a new episode of my Dante series. Today we will keep reading and translating the first canto of Dante's Inferno. So the story so far. Dante found himself in a dark forest and then he went out of it without knowing exactly how. Then he saw a hill and he tried to climb it, but three wild animals, a cheetah, a lion and a female wolf, representing three different sins, prevented him from doing so, pushing him back towards the forest. At this point, Dante is terrified, especially by the wolf. And suddenly he notices a person standing not far from him and cries for help, saying, "Help me, whether you are a man or a spirit." Risposemi, non omo già fui, e li parenti miei furon lombardi, mantoani per patria ambedui. Nacqui su Giulio, ancor che fosse tardi, e vissi a Roma sotto il buon Augusto, nel tempo degli dei falsi e bugiardi. He answered, "Not man, I once was a man, and my parents were Lombards. Mantua was the native city of them both. I was born under Julius, although late, and I lived in Rome under the good Augustus, at the time of the false and deceitful gods." So first of all, this person is dead. He says very clearly, "I'm not a man, I once was a man." Then he says that he comes from northern Italy, especially from the city of Mantua. And then he says that he was a man during the 1st century BC. So he was born under Julius, that means during the life of Julius Caesar, and he lived in Rome under Augustus, so during the beginning of the Roman Empire, in the 1st century BC. Eventually he specifies at the time of the false and deceitful gods, because of course in the 1st century BC there was no Christianity at all, and this person, together with all the Romans and the empire, was pagan. So here Dante uses the word Lombards in the second verse. This is special because Lombard is a word which was used in the Middle Ages to indicate people living in northern Italy. Lombard comes from Longobard, and Longobards were a barbaric tribe. But at the time when this person was alive, so during the 1st century BC, the Longobards didn't even exist. So this person uses the word Lombard to indicate his parents, but he would have never called himself that because he didn't exist at the time. So he would have called himself likely a Roman from Mantua, but not Lombard. Poeta fui, e cantai di quel giusto figliuol d'Anchise che venne di Troia, poiché il superbo Ilion fu combusto. Ma tu, perché ritorni a tanta noia? Perché non sali il dilettuoso monte che è principio e cagion di tutta gioia? I was a poet, and sang of the righteous son of Anchises, who came from Troy, after the superb Ilion was burned. But why? Why do you return to such a wretchedness? Why don't you climb the delightful mountain, which is the source and cause of every joy? So the person goes on and he says that he was a poet and that he sang about Aeneas. So according to mythology, Aeneas was a Trojan hero, son of Anchises. At the end of the Trojan War, after the city was burned, he fled, and the story of Aeneas is told in an epic poem, the Aeneid, written by the Latin poet Virgil. So now we know that the mysterious soul Dante has just met is the Latin poet Virgil. Why Virgil? I would like to tell something about Virgil's life and works, but the video would become too long and I will make a separate one. Let's just say that Dante admired Virgil greatly, and Virgil's work was an inspiration for him. Also, Virgil was considered the most, so to say, Christian poet among the pagan ones. So his views, his ideas were considered to be close to Christianism, although he couldn't be Christian at all because he died in 19 BC. So now look at Dante's reaction. Remember that Dante is still chased by these 3 wild animals, especially the female wolf, the last one. And he replies, Or sei tu quel Virgilio e quella fonte che spandi di parlarsi largo fiume? Rispose lui con vergognosa fronte. O degli altri poeti onore e lume, vagliami il lungo studio e il grande amore che m'han fatto cercar lo tuo volume. Are you then that Virgil and that fountain that powers such an abundant river of words? I answered him with a shamed bow. O honour and light of the other poets, may serve me the long study and the deep love that make me look for your work. So, Virgil has just asked why Dante is not trying to climb the hill, but Dante doesn't bother to answer the question for now, because he is overcome with amazement and admiration. Is that really you? And he goes on. Tu sei lo mio maestro e il mio autore. Tu sei solo colui da cui io tolsi lo bello stilo che m'ha fatto onore. Vedi la bestia per cui io mi volsi. Aiutami da lei, famoso saggio, ch'ella mi fa tremar le vene e i polsi. You are my master and my author. You are the only one from whom I took the noble style for which I am honored. You see the beast that made me turn around. Save me from her, O famous sage, because she makes my veins and pulses shudder. So Dante keeps complimenting Virgil and states clearly that he took his own style from him. Only at the very end he mentions the wolf, which has been quiet during the wall exchange, by the way. It may sound like it doesn't make any sense. The way Dante got here, the hill, the 3 beasts, meeting someone who died 1,300 years before, and especially the fact that the wolf waits quietly while Dante and Virgil speak together. It is completely surreal. But of course, all of this has a strong metaphorical and allegorical meaning, which will become more even clearer in the next episode. So how is Virgil going to help Dante with the beasts? We will find out in the next episode. Thank you for listening and good night.